Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to be talking about Teen Mom star Amber Portwood. This probably will be a little bit of a longer live stream because we're going to be watching a TikTok live that she did earlier today where she kind of spiraled a little bit. Of course, she was getting the usual comments. Are you on drugs? Why are your pupils so big? And people telling her that she has caused Leah trauma. And trauma. I did not traumatize her. I did not beat her. My life was way worse than hers. What are you guys talking about? I mean, insane. I was in the comment chat, like the comment section, like all caps, like, what? What do you like? It honestly, I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that this girl who in her own book wrote about how when her brother turned 18 and moved out of the house, how that affected her so much still to this day, like how it traumatized her, her brother at 18 moving out, what that did to her. She can't accept the fact that her being in and out of her daughter's life may have caused her daughter some trauma. This woman is so delusional, and I try to hold back a little bit because I don't like being judgy on people. Like, I try not to come like full force at people, but I'm probably going to come full force at Amber because this live upset me. It just made me so mad because this is your 16-year-old daughter who you were acting like nothing you did when she was growing up affected her at all. Even though you wrote a whole book about how losing your baby sister and watching your parents never recover and you never recover and watching your brother move out. And I mean, even in one of the most recent episodes of Teen Mom, where she was talking about Gary 2.0 leaving, and she's like, oh, traumatized, so traumatized. Him leaving like that, it traumatized me. It traumatized, like Amber Portwood is the only one allowed to be traumatized over anything. She is traumatized over any and everything, but her daughter's not because she did not beat her daughter. So this live had me fuming. I recorded it. I have it up. I have the video itself up. So if you guys want to just watch the video itself and you don't want to hear me stop and ramble about my feelings, you can watch it. The video itself is up under videos on this channel. Or if you want to hang out with me as we watch it together, where I will stop and I will commentate on it, you're more than welcome to do so because I have so much to say. So let's go ahead and let's get into it, you guys. And this live was done earlier today. She was cleaning her house and she decided to go live. And, she gets the usual comments every time she goes live. I really don't know why she, like, honestly, if I got the comments that she got, I don't think I would ever go live. Peaceful says, I watched your video you posted on. Yes. So what the video that I posted today is what we're going to be watching again. And we're going to watch it and I have comments because I can't even, I'm like, what level of delusion do you have to be at for you to be traumatized by everything, but you thinking, and what's so ironic is Amber talks about how, her mom and her dad traumatized her, but she doesn't think that maybe she is traumatizing her daughter. You are, Amber. That's why on the most recent episode of Teen Mom, Leah herself said she has a fear of abandonment now. She is scared that Christina or other people in her life will abandon her. And that comes from you, Amber. So let's go ahead. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Had a thought behind these eyes?
Sorry. And I just started it. Like, I cut out a lot. I only kept the parts where she was addressing comments. There was other parts where she was just chatting and receiving gifts and nothing. I cut all that out just for the more interesting parts of the live. If you guys can hear a train, I'm sorry.
Had a thought behind these eyes? Well, there's definitely a thought. Very, 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 I think too much, actually. You aspire to be this level of delusional. It takes time. It takes like a lot of time. I know, I like it. I don't even know. Where'd you see it? Okay. Peace be with you. Thank you. Yes, my son's doing amazing. He's sick right now, though. He's sick right now, guys. You're strange. Nobody in entertainment is normal. Y'all stop hating on Amber. It's okay. They love to hate me. It's okay. They don't know what else to do because I don't know. They can go back years ago and keep going with it. Hi, guys. What? Ma'am, I think the world would be nicer if you just owned up to not being there for your kids. I'm sorry, what?
Okay, you got us.
I'm thinking of buying a house.
A house by
All right, I
yourself?
forgot
Are you
about
sure?
the ads. I apologize. Bear with me. And I do think the world would be nicer to her if she said, I know I'm a crappy mom. I know I'm a horrible mom. I know my kids are now going to have trauma because of me and me not being there for them. If she admitted those things, I do think people will be a lot nicer to her, but she doesn't. She's like, I'm a great mom. I'm a fantastic mom. Like nothing I do causes my kids are great. They're awesome. Me and my son have the best relationship. She refuses to acknowledge that anything that she does causes her kids pain.
It wasn't until I found a nurse practitioner.
Huh? What? What? The world would be nicer if I owned up to everything that I've already owned up to? True, though. What are y'all talking about? I'm 34. This has been going on for years. I'm not buzzed. Oh my God. Facts on what? I get confused because like I don't even know what y'all are talking about when people say like certain things. I get really confused. I do. Thank you, darling. That was beautiful. Boo on you. I'm not here for entertaining you guys right now. I'm here to be with my people and just be. What does it say victim for? Open my eyes. I've got chunky cheeks. Like what the fuck? Anything else, you guys? That like anything else? Like I don't know. Everything like doesn't like all the bad comments are not real, so it doesn't matter. But it's like they just keep getting thrown. So I'm just like, what are we talking about? I'm not high. I have chunky cheeks, and I'm really getting sick and tired of that because I do have Southeast Asian in me, and I'm only mixed with 4 different things, guys. And the reason why my eyes are like this, and I do have Asian in me, and I do have indigenous in me, and it's a lot. Like literally, my first chromosome is like Egyptian. Like, so stop. Like, are you kidding? Yeah, I have a weird face. Like, everyone else's fault. What is everyone else's fault? My pupils are big because I take medications for my mental illnesses, obviously. You guys are just, man, this is like a broken record. Hold on, for real. Like, for real. It is so dumb, y'all. The pupil thing has to stop. The pupil thing has to be like done with, guys. It's so stupid. Like, no, none of that's true. Y'all, you got to stay off my thing. Like, for real. You got to stay off my thing because, seriously, like it's too negative. It's really weird and it's too negative. What are you talking about, Ashley McClenny? 4 months no contact with your daughter is crazy. I didn't go 4 months no contact with my daughter.
She literally on the show, they literally just said it's been 4 months, and she goes, "What 4 months? I didn't go 4 months no contact with my daughter."
You guys are keep on being told that I'm going no contact with my daughter, like I'm doing that. No, I was told to stay away.
Doesn't matter, which I don't think she was told to stay away because the way they talked about it is they're like, so we haven't heard from Amber. Have you heard from Amber? Nope, haven't heard from Amber. So it doesn't seem like they're telling her, hey, don't call, don't text. And I feel like Christina is the type of stepmom, if Amber was talking to her, even if Leah did not want to talk to Amber, even if Leah did not respond to Amber, I feel like Christina would stay in communication with Amber if Amber tried. I feel like if Leah was like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to see you, whatever, I feel like Amber could text Christina every day and be like, hey, what's she doing? How's she doing? Is she having a good day? Thank you. And Christina would have that conversation with her. I feel like Gary would. But one thing about Amber is she feels that she should not have to talk to Christina. Several times when Gary has brought up, like, Christina texts you, she's like, well, why am I going to respond to her? Like, this isn't it has nothing to do with her. Why would I respond to her? Well, because she helps raise Leah, and she tends to a lot of things for Leah. So if you want to know everything going on with Leah, if you really care to know everything that was going on with Leah, then you would conversate with her. Who cares if you're upset because this girl is more of a mom to your daughter than you have ever been? If you really cared to keep in touch or to keep up with Leah, you would talk to Christina, and that's the bottom line. Nothing else matters. If you really cared, you would talk to Christina. I'm sure Gary would respond. I'm sure Gary would be like, she's doing nothing today. She had track today. This is what we did today. So I don't believe this. Oh, I was told not to reach out. I was told to go no contact. But even if they said, back off, don't talk to us, that still doesn't change the fact that it's been 4 months of no contact. You acted shocked. 4 months no contact. What? First off, I was told not like, okay, well then you still went 4 months no contact. Why are you acting shocked? Like, it still happened.
Like, not to stay away, but like all that stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do that, actually. Like, I want to have my daughter with me. I would love to have my daughter with me. I would love to do mom and daughter things. It's up to her that she doesn't want to be around me at the moment while she's doing therapy. I understand. But, yeah, my life is filmed and everything that I'm saying is the truth. So what are you talking about? So, yeah, I mean, I think you guys are just like bringing up some weird stuff for no reason. 3 points. Hi, guys. I put her through enough. We've already talked about everything from the past. She doesn't remember anything, guys. She said it on the show that she didn't remember anything bad and stuff like that. And that don't.
Well, the other day, Amber said she does not watch the show. She's like, I don't watch the show. But now she's saying, oh, when she's on the show, she doesn't remember anything bad. I'm going to give her a little credit to say, well, maybe someone told her. Maybe she talked to her mom, and her mom was like, so the focus of the show is this. And Leah says she's watched this, but she said, blah, blah, blah. Maybe, okay. But I was doing a little bit of research because Amber was gone in some very important years in Leah's life. And Leah's a little girl, and I think this is probably even more so in little girls. So it does say a young child around the age of 2 years old is heavily reliant on their mother for security and comfort. So her mother's sudden disappearance can create a deep sense of loss and confusion, even if they cannot comprehend why she's gone. This early separation can disrupt a child's ability to form secure attachments, potentially leading to difficulties with trust and intimacy in future relationships. Depending on the child's temperament and the care provided during the separation, they might exhibit behaviors like regression, excessive crying, clinginess, withdrawal, or aggression. While a young child may not fully understand the concept of time or permanence, the absence of a primary caregiver can still impact their cognitive development and their ability to process their emotions. If the child is placed in a stable and loving environment with a constant caregiver, the negative impacts can be minimized, which is why I have a lot of respect for Gary as well. Okay, so the reason, people will have their faults with Gary, and I'm like, yeah, but when Amber was doing DRUGS and in and out in prison, Gary really knuckled down so he could make sure he provided Leah with a stable environment. And thank God he did. Could you imagine if Leah had 2 fools for parents? Then it would be like, Janelle and David over there. Jace growing up with nobody, or Kaiser, or Inslee, where they don't have a decent parent to rely on. I mean, you can watch the show and see the difference. You can literally watch the show and see the difference in kids that grew up where they had a consistent parent that kept them in a stable environment, like Chelsea Huska, and how her kids have grown up and, they're not running away. There's no 911 calls, and you know what I'm saying? Versus the parents that did not provide that for them and how it's affected them when they become teenagers.
The only time that she remembered anything was when she didn't remember anything though. She would watch like clips from online, and she said that's what she hated. So it's not trauma. She doesn't have trauma, thank God. But she had a rough life, yeah. Guys, not everything is trauma. It's not denial. You can't call that trauma.
You're right, Amber Portwood. Not everything is trauma. Like your brother at 18 years old deciding to move out because he's 18 and you're like 15, and him saying 18, moving out. Is that trauma? Well, to you it was. You wrote in your book about it. So much so you wrote like a whole chapter in your book about how devastated you were that your brother moved out, about how you felt betrayed and alone, and your brother was your like person. And with him moving out, you felt like he abandoned you. This is your brother. At 18, he moved out and you felt abandoned, but your daughter's not supposed to feel abandoned by her mom that was never really there. Okay. When your fiance left you and went missing, and you only dated this character for like 10 months, you felt abandoned. It traumatized you. These are all things that you've said either on the show or in your books, that these things traumatized you. A man that you only knew for 10 months. I mean, y'all remember the clip? It was just last week or like 2 weeks ago where she's like, it traumatized me. Like him leaving, like he did. We were supposed to get married. And then people saying like, it was traumatizing. Those things can traumatize Amber Portwood. But a little girl losing her mom going away to prison or jail or wherever she went, and then coming home, but still focusing more on getting a man. And then when Leah started going back for visits, her mom's sleeping most of the day. So the man tending to Leah, those things are not traumatizing. No, not at all. Not at all. She's ridiculous.
And beat her, I didn't. She's traumatized about what? Delusional. I'm delusional because I have a brain? No, she's not traumatized because of me. I didn't do anything to her like that. The yelling, yeah, that happened 3 years, less than 3 years. And that was on and off. Guys, they make it look like we were together the whole time. We weren't. Everybody knows that. It's not trauma. Jesus Lord, guys, stop. It was a couple years of being gone. And then ever since then, I was on her life. What are you talking?
A couple of years of being gone when your child is at any point, honestly, at any point, a child losing their mom is traumatizing. And for you to dismiss that, Amber, if I was Leah, that would make me so mad at you. If I was Leah and I heard this woman who is my biological mom saying, what? Me leaving for a couple of years? Like, what? It was just a couple of years, like only 3 years of yelling and only a couple of years that I was gone. It did not traumatize her. That's nothing. I would probably send you a message and say, you're the biggest piece of crap ever. For you to speak on my trauma, like, how dare you? And for you to act like you being addicted to drugs and completely out of my life for X amount of time, the time that you had spent in jail, rehabs, with boyfriends, and not really caring about me, like, for you to act like that did nothing to me, like, how dare you never speak to me again? That's what I would say.
Talk about. You guys keep forgetting I went to school for this.
Girl, you would. You took like, okay, you want to know something? You went to school for this. I took a psychology course with body language. I don't proclaim to know all that there is. I don't proclaim to say, oh, I went to school for psychology. I went to school for body language. I mean, I will tell you, I took classes on it. I have a certificate in it. I'm certified in it. And I always say, anytime I bring up the fact that I'm certified in it, I will say, but I'm not an expert. I'm still fairly new at this. And you don't know. And to downplay her trauma should be one thing you should have been taught in school. You went to school for this. You should have learned you don't downplay someone else's trauma. It's not on you to do that, especially trauma that you induced on her. Sorry about the ads, guys. Hold on.
Y'all, just shut up and quit. Just shut up. It's ridiculous to come on here and like try to relax in between me like cleaning my freaking house. And you guys are talking about denial and all this shit and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to listen to this stuff. I live the life. Jesus. Who's traumatized? Who's a victim? Who? How? I never said I was. Nobody ever said I was a victim. Nobody ever made excuses. All I ever did was say every damn thing. What about my kids? They know everything. I've never played the victim in shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care enough. Y'all are not my kids. You are not my kids.
No, we're not your kids because your kids wouldn't even care to watch you right now. We do. Your kids, they would probably see you on TikTok and be like, oh God, what's she doing now? Flip.
Like the day my son wants to tell me I'm not there for him, like that's what my son will tell me. The day that my daughter wants to say she's pissed off at me because of my past and me being a drug addict and having mental illnesses and going to prison and things like that, then that's what the fuck she's saying right now. Like, get over it. Damn, I had a way worse life than she can imagine. I know more than half of you guys did. You can't see.
She said, I had a way worse life than she could imagine. And I'm sure I know you guys did too. Like, you know what's so crazy is I actually did have kind of like a bad childhood due to a lot of things that happened to me. But I actually didn't know that I did until I got older and I looked back and I was like, wow, like had some bad things happen to me. But I would never look at anybody else and say, well, I had it worse than them. So, yeah, not a big deal. I had it worse than them. Or they had it worse than me. So, mine's not a big deal. Like, your trauma is still your trauma. Like, if you have something difficult that was hard for you, that's still on you. Like, what? How dare you say I had it worse than her, and I'm sure you guys did too. That is comparing your trauma to your daughter's that you caused is wild. And if you went to school for this and you had a degree in this, I'm sure they would tell you you don't compare your trauma to anyone else's and you don't downplay anybody else's trauma. I'm sure those are things you should learn if you go to school for this.
Sit there and do that with your kids. You cannot sit there and pamper to the point of you've apologized for years and the people are being pushed away from you and you're still apologizing. But it has nothing to do with anything except for the fact that there's stuff being looked at online or things like that from years ago. So quit. Thank God.
She said you don't pamper your kids and just sit there and continue apologizing for the things that you did. You don't pamper your kids. You did anything wrong. You won't even admit that you being absent in her life may have caused her some trauma. So when are you really apologizing? Quit. Probably. That's very Farrah Abraham of her, but she probably did. She enrolled in school, bought the sweater, then quit. Probably. So funny.
Guys, it's really not good. Like, I don't know why it's been turned into these weird team things. I really don't. I don't think it's a team. I don't think of anything like that. This is my life. This is specifically just y'all are doing the most. I don't even know there's too much hate, guys. I don't know what you're doing, but like there's a lot of hate on here for no reason. I feel like I don't know what is being talked about here. And I don't really know why it's really any of like the negative people on here. Why is it your business? And why are my pupils your business either? And why is my mental health your business? If you don't know who I am, then just move along. This is for my fans and my supporters, not for negative stuff. I don't really know what the reason of that would be, to be honest. I am happy. Yes. My pupils are this big because of my medications, guys. Stop it. There's no reason to be negative, guys. Stop. Hey, River, Northwest Territories, Canada. Hi, darling. Oh, God. My Mother Mary over here or something. I don't know. What are we talking about? God. Karma from what? You can't have karma, Emily, if you didn't do anything. When you stop doing the negative things and you go through your karma, honey, I've already did all that. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Guys, you're not philosophers. You're not philosophical people. You're not.
I love that she's like, you're not philosophers, you're not philosophical people, so don't talk to me. I wonder if there's any philosophers or like really, I mean, maybe some philosophical people may watch MTV's Teen Mom, but probably not a whole lot. And if they do, it's just to get their weekly dose of train wreck trash reality television. It's not because it's like educational to them. It's just like trash TV, their guilty pleasure to watch it. But I love that she's like, if you're not philosophical, don't talk to me. You're not. No, she's like, you're not. Well, maybe somebody is. Maybe somebody is philosophical. What, like, what? That's a weird comment. Like, if you're not a comedian, don't talk to me. Okay, everybody, if you don't like me, you cannot leave me hate comments unless you're a comedian. And you got to make it funny. If you leave me a hate comment, it has to be funny. So, no hate comments unless you're a comedian. What the heck? What the heck? I mean, I can understand her saying, like, if you're not a therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, maybe, but philosophical people? What? Okay. Okay, Amber. Whatever.
You know, unless you are, I don't know. Like you're not. That was beautiful, by the way. Unless you're a writer or a prophet or a poet, I don't want to hear your.
Everyone deserves a happy home, and an imperfect credit score shouldn't keep you from filling yours with the things you.
Dude, how many, like, YouTube, come on now. Y'all are rich. Y'all don't need to put 5011 ads in an 18-minute video. They're going to take half the money, too. Turds. Okay, hold on.
Maybe I did like block those people the other day and I didn't even know. Oh my gosh. Absolutely, she is. I make Fair look like a saint. I think you're pushing that, honey. You need to go sit down. We're gonna put you in the corner. And leave Fair alone, by the way. Always on live. This is my first time on live in like I don't even know how long. Like what? Like a long time. I'm redoing my room, you guys. So I'm redoing my room. Why do I need to go to rehab? Honey, I am completely sober. This is medication. My literally mental illness medication. Why would I go to rehab? What am I going to rehab for? I don't drink. I'm not doing any drugs. Like, what am I going to rehab for? I don't understand, guys. Like, you can't, like, what? Like, don't you have to do, like, drugs to have to go to rehab? Like, I don't know. Denial? Because I'm not. It's denial because rehab for overeating? What in the hell? No hope. 50%, guys. Wow. Narcissistic. Hi, darlings. 11. Oh, thank you. Aren't you embarrassed? What? I am 34. Why are people saying these things? What is going on? Okay. So, all right, everybody was pretty awesome today. I liked hanging out with you guys. as I kind of took like a little break, guys. I really did. I needed like a break from just, yeah, everything, honestly. I really do. But there's so many, you guys said these are robots or bots or something, or like spam. I don't know. Dang, I could never be a moderator. Oh my gosh. No, I'm not manic actually. Did you put a piggy face? I know you're trying to be a jerk, but me and my son, we actually do piggy face together because we both look like piggies. So we do something called piggy face, and we make a piggy face to each other. So, whatever. Like, whatever. Like, so, like, are we really like over here like making fun of people for like gaining weight now? It's like, again, guys, I'm on a show, but I'm 34 now. 34. Use your brains. Stop it.
The reason she says she's 34, 34, 34 is because she believes that she has not behaved inappropriately in like 10 years. She's like, "Oh my god, everything I did was 10 years ago. I've grown from that. I don't do that anymore. I'm 34. That's when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm 34." Like, and it's like, "Girl, no. No. We are judging you." What's that? We something and we don't judge. We're judging. We're judging. We're judging. We're judging. We're judging. But we're judging you off the things that you do today. Like at the dinner where you arrived late and you lied and said you didn't, even though everyone knew that you did, and you called your daughter a Woody Woodpecker to her face. You ruined her birthday party. We're judging you based off the fact that you met a new man and went months without seeing your daughter. And when you finally, it was like 8 months, when you finally saw your daughter, it was because Macy and Kate set it up through Gary and you introduced her to your new boo thing. And then at the very next meeting, you told your daughter that you were engaged. Like all of these are things that are just like inappropriate. Like if a mom's gonna have a boyfriend, before they get engaged, you should probably introduce daughter to boyfriend before the question is popped. Like you don't on the second meeting, you don't want to be like, so he's about to be your stepdaddy. He put a ring on it. Like, no, like all of these are things that you did that we're judging you off of because it was not mother type behavior. And we're not, yes, we still judge you based off the things you did way back then, or we talk about it because it was bad. I mean, the stuff that you did back then was bad, 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 bad. Okay. Rad, tad, bad. I'm a poet. I'm poetic. Those things were bad. But we also focus on what you do today and currently. Okay. So stop with the I'm 34. Yes, we're judging you based on things that you did when you were 34 as well. So quit it, girlfriend. Quit it.
Let me be 34 and not keep. It's not mania, darling. I know myself. I'm 34. I don't have mania. It's 2:18 in the afternoon. I was taking a break and just want to hang out with my people a little bit, and then I'm gonna keep on moving the room around, clean it up more. Probably even I think I might clean the carpet. I kind of it's messy because I was throwing, so we got the cat house, we've got my clothes. I had to throw it on the I had to throw it on the bed because I was doing spot cleaning on my floor. And then now I have to pick up everything else and do the laundry. And then one last vacuum. And then, yeah, it's good. James is doing good. James is doing good. Hey, girl. Hey. Yes, I do, Sammy. Yes. Of course. Well, I love you guys. I'm gonna go. Oh, did we do our? Hold on. Okay, we have to breathe real quick and think of something positive since we hit our goal again with you guys. All right. So I missed you too, darling. So let's think of something positive and kind of breathe in for today, tomorrow. Anybody?
Breathe in. Think of something positive. Thank God Leah has Christina and Gary in her life. That's my thought.
Remember, we got this together and it's so beautiful, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, Lord. Yes, I do this actually every time we hit a goal. So, Mass, no, I do that every time we hit a goal. So, it's really sweet. All right. So, I see everybody who wants to be negative. So, I love you, positive people, today. It was amazing. And I always love seeing you guys so much, anyways. And now it's time for me to actually put my room together the way I want it. And maybe I'll show you guys afterwards. Let me move some of the kitty stuff out of here so they're not trying to play on everything. All right. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye. Bye.
Yeah. That's insanity to me. And I am like, she has been going to therapy, and we have seen her therapist on the show. And honestly, I think he needs to be spanked. I think the therapist, what's his name? The baby therapist, the pediatric therapist. I think he needs a paddling because I don't know if he's making her worse. I don't know if he's not being like, is he a real therapist? Is he actually production that just sits in and that's what they say he's doing? Because if I was her therapist, I don't know if you can do this. I don't know if you can do this. Beverly, I'm not going to hate you, love. Beverly says, don't hate me, but I kind of understand where Amber is coming from. Sometimes people are legitimately abused as kids, hair pulling, beatings, and mental abuse. Yes. Thankfully, Leah never went through that because she did not live with her mom. Because if Leah would have continued to live with Amber, it probably, look what Amber did to Gary and Andrew. And after the Amber and Andrew situation happened, I talked to Andrew and he told me how Amber was with baby James when baby James was just a baby. Because when they left, when Amber got arrested, James was like a year and a half old or so, okay? And he had told me stories about her yelling and cursing at him, getting mad because he would like play in the cabinets and her walking up to him and like slamming the cabinet shut and yelling, dropping F bombs, like, what the heck are you doing as a baby? So, I mean, honestly, the reason these kids probably were not physically abused is because they were removed from the house with Amber. However, you're born into a lifestyle. You're born into not a lifestyle. You're born into a family, right? And you're sexually assaulted as a kid, right? You're sexually assaulted as a kid. And your mom cheats on your dad, and your dad cheats on your mom. And you see these things, and they fight a lot. And they split up. And this is the trauma that you went through. Seeing your parents cheat, seeing them fight a lot over the cheating, you sexually assaulted by a relative, and you grow up and you have someone tell you, it's not like your mom held you down while you were sexually assaulted. It's not like your mom beat you up. Like, yes, your parents cheated. Yes, they fought a lot. And yes, you were sexually assaulted, but nobody killed you. You're not dead. It just because someone else has it worse or there's worse things that can happen does not at all take away from how the trauma other people have and how it affects them. So I get what you're saying, like as far as like where Amber is coming from, like, oh, well, I didn't beat her, but you did a lot and you refuse to acknowledge it. And you are acting like Leah is perfectly fine and that nothing that you did while she was a baby up until present day should affect her. She's great. She makes great grades. She does track. She has a great life. Like that's all Amber ever says. She's happy. She's great. She has a great life. Not thanks to you. It's thanks to Gary and Christina. It's thanks to them. And if Gary and Christina did not exist and it just would have been Amber, what would have happened? Consider yourself that. Consider that. If Gary would have been one of those men like Ryan, who else? Adam Lynn, who else? I don't even know. If he would have disappeared out of her life, Amber would have literally continued to do the DRUGS with Leah, probably leaving her in baby beds with no sheets on it for hours on end. And when Leah's crying, yelling at her, what's wrong with you? Shut up. I mean, there's literally a clip of where Leah is like not even 2 years old. And Gary and Amber tells Gary, you don't discipline her enough. It's your fault she acts this way because you don't discipline her enough. And Gary's like, she hasn't done anything wrong. Like she's just a baby though. Like what am I supposed to do? Beat her? Like what a 2-year-old. She wasn't even 2. Like she couldn't have even been 2 years old. She was tiny still, barely could walk. And she's like, it's your fault. Like you don't discipline her enough. She's a baby. Yeah, Amber was letting this random man that she just started dating change Leah's diapers. So yes, Leah's trauma is not, she wasn't beaten by her mom. She wasn't, certain things didn't happen to her. Great. But yes, she has trauma and it is absolutely due to Amber. And Amber refuses to acknowledge it. Oh, my trauma's worse than hers. Or she don't say that. She says, oh, I had a way worse life than her. I had a way worse life than her. You guys did too. So like, she's completely taken away what her daughter did go through and how her daughter may feel due to what she went through. Gentry says, I don't have tolerance for parents who go in and out and leave the other parent with no choice. They don't get mental health breaks. They got to figure it out. They can't and won't leave. 1,000%. I agree. Who's on tonight's episode? Amber isn't. Jade, Mom, Cheyenne, Jade. I don't remember. I remember in an old episode of when Amber and Gary got into a fight and he left Leah, was just a baby. She told Leah, well, Daddy left you again. Yep, sure did. Exactly, Elle. Who knows what went on when they weren't filming if she acted like that with her baby when they were filming. Exactly. She would have been beat if Gary wasn't there. And Andrew saved James. She pretty much says that her trauma is worse than Leah's. That's exactly what she said. She exactly said, my life was way harder than Leah's. And so was y'all's. What? So what? Who cares? Even if my life was worse than Leah's, I wouldn't turn a blind eye to it and be like, well, I had it worse, so toughen up, kiddo. It could have been like mine. Like, no. A way that I can kind of compare this, I don't know, something popped up in my head. People always ask me, oh my gosh, how did you do it with 6 kids? And I'm like, I just had to. And they're like, man, I feel bad because I'm always like saying that I'm stressed out and I only got 2 kids, And I'm like, no, don't take that away from yourself because guess what? When I had just 2, I thought it was tough as well because that's what you were used to. It don't take, like, when I had 2 kids and it was tough on me, thank you so much, Written in the Stars. Are we there yet? Are we at 98,000? Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. But back when I had 2 kids, guess what? I thought it was hard. There were days where I lacked sleep and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard raising 2 kids by myself. Oh my goodness, it's so hard. And I went on to have 4 more and it got a lot harder. But when I think back to when I had 2 kids and it was hard, it was still hard for me. And when people tell me that, like, oh, I shouldn't complain because I only have 2 kids, I'm like, no, complain because that's hard for you. No, like you still struggle with 2 kids. Don't just because I have more and you think my life is harder than yours doesn't no, you have every right to feel the way that you feel. and be stressed out over trying to raise 2 kids on your own, or even if you have no. Like, so I just saying like, oh, well, other people have it worse. Like, it doesn't take away from what everybody deals with. Somebody may have it worse, but the person that has it a little bit easier, and to them, it can still be bad. Thank you guys. Thank you. I saw right before we hopped on that I was at 97,998. So I was like, maybe I'll be at 98K soon. Maybe we'll be at 100K soon. Yeah, kids are stressful. Oh, Heather says, I was the 98,000. High five. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I had 3 kids by the time I was 20, and I left my husband. And yes, it was hard, but I love my babies, and I just did what I had to do. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, if I get 100K, I'll get my plaque, and then I'll be a real YouTuber. No one makes my blood boil more than Amber, except maybe Janelle. Same. Congrats, Elle. You can thank you. Hope so. Your son has 2. That's awesome. It's freaking awesome. Being a mom is hard AF, no matter how many kids, regardless of what you see online. 1,000%. Thank you, Haley. Yes. Try to get to 100K, you guys. Thank you, guys. Thank y'all. People really don't understand how badly trauma is, especially when it comes to children. Exactly. Thank you, Blue. Yeah, Amber went live broadcasting false accusations about Gary, and now Leah has to go to school and deal with people talking about it. Exactly. Yes, 100K. Yeah, I'm curious about that too, Victoria. Blue, what kind of channel does your son have? It's Janelle, Amber, and Farrah for me. Oh my goodness. Same. Thank you, Carly. Yes, absolutely, Colby. You make it happen. You know, if you got 7 kids or if you got 17 kids, you figure it out. 1 or 10, exactly. Amber's a 35-year-old toddler, 100%. Anyways, you guys, that's live. I was in the chat, like, I mean, my fingers were on fire. Smoke was flying out from underneath these red nails. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, what? Like, how dare you? Like, she has trauma too. Like, I was just going off. Like, anybody that could have recorded the chat saw Elle Bee up in the chat going off. Like, if you went to school, then you should know better than to, take away her trauma. So I think it's ridiculous that you don't compare your trauma to somebody else's and you don't downplay somebody else's trauma. I'm tired of Amber not being able to comprehend how life works, and Leah is judged by her parents. Yeah. Oh, I know, Colby. I should have. Thank you, guys. Anyways, you guys, yeah, I'm about to watch Teen Mom too, because tonight the twins go to their first high school dance. I have a little clip of that up over on my Facebook page if you guys want to check it out. If not, it's going to be on tonight, so we're going to watch it. Tomorrow, I have to take my dad to the doctor's office, so I'll probably be tomorrow evening doing live streams. I will be talking about Pumpkin soon, because it looks like Pumpkin is having her customers make videos when they get their packages saying, everybody's saying Pumpkin don't send their packages, but look, I'm getting my packages. It's literally like she's asking people to do this. And then the people that are doing this, they're turning their comments off. Are you going to talk about Ruby Frankie? Yes. I do want to. How is your father-in-law? My father-in-law has been so much better. I wish I had 6 kids. I have 3. Honestly, God knew that I needed 6 kids more than I knew I needed 6 kids. So huge blessing. Anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Whatever happens tonight, if it's something super interesting, we may talk about it tomorrow. If not, we'll be talking about Pumpkin Shannon. Are we recapping Sister Wives since it ended? I'm kind of gotten away from Sister Wives just because it took so long to work up the full recap. You guys, I didn't make more than $3 on those live. I would work all day, maybe 2 days, and only have time to do that one live, and I would maybe make like $2 or $3. So I was like, I really have to put my time into, what makes money and what I still enjoy. And Sister Wives kind of got a little boring for me. To be quite honest, I actually haven't watched it in like the first 3 episodes probably, just because. But if I do watch something, and if I do watch an episode because I hear that it's good or something, and something happens, I'll definitely cover it. Also, you guys, follow me on Facebook, follow me on TikTok, Instagram. Also, someone very special and close to me started a page called Daily 10 Piece, where they it's Daily 10 Piece. I will link it in the description box as well as in my comment section. And what they do is they do short videos where they post 10 pieces of information about people from the Bible or historical figures like Ragnar, who was a Viking, Eric the Red, I think that's his name, Joseph, Moses, Simon, Paul, and they also do inspirational videos, but they're no more than like, I think the longest one has been like 4 minutes. So I will link in the description box below if you guys don't mind, if you're interested in historical figures or people from the Bible and learning more about them, or if you just want to follow a page that uploads inspirational videos every once in a while, go check them out. It would mean the most to me. I will link them. It's called Daily 10 Piece. They are on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, as I am as well. So follow us both if you guys don't mind. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everyone.